Hey everybody, today is Thursday, so you know we do our lives with Wise Consultant. We always have a guest business owner, entrepreneur on. So we're gonna let people start rolling in. Probably about in 3 minutes we'll start. So everybody start coming in and then we'll start our live. Hey Marvelette. Hey everybody, thank y'all for joining us. Hey Amy. Hey Ariane. We're just gonna wait for people to come on. Good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us. We are going to start in probably about 2 minutes. People are rolling in, and then we'll begin. Hey, Ash. Hey, Deja. Hey, Gerald. How you doing? Hey, Ashley. Hey, everybody. About to start. Hey, Carlita. There we go. Hey, Monique.
Hey.
So, hey, little DJ. Thanks for joining us. All right, everybody, we're going to start. I like to be conscious of everyone's time. Like I said, we do every Thursday. We have our live. We always have a entrepreneur, business owner on just to give their experience, promote their businesses that they have, give their experience as entrepreneur, the roles, the things that they went through, things that they wish they could change, or things that they learned on this process. So we're going to start tonight. Tonight, our guest is Monique Perilou. She is an entrepreneur. She's a realtor. And tonight I'm going to turn the floor over to her. She's going to talk about her businesses, life of an entrepreneur and things of that nature, a realtor. So Monique, the floor is yours. And thank you again for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. Hey, everybody. I'm Monique Perilou. I am, like Andrea said, an entrepreneur, a realtor, a wife, mom, all those things. I have a business management degree from Dillard University. I'm also co-owner of a construction company with my husband, and I also co-own a clothing boutique with two of my friends, two of my best friends. So that's pretty much my background.
Okay, so Monique, so you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. What are some of the things that you learned along the way? Somebody said in the comment, "Go Dillard." So you have somebody here that went to Dillard. So what are the things that advice that you would give to entrepreneurs starting out, or just things that you learned along the way, or things you wish you knew before you started being an entrepreneur?
Mm-hmm. Uh, so I've been around entrepreneurs my whole life. My family, I have a bunch of entrepreneurs. So it was always a goal of mine to, own my own business. Hence, I have the business management degree. Um, so I've kind of seen the ins and outs of, starting a business, running a business, growing a business, scaling the business. Um, so what you say every week when you get on with other entrepreneurs is I feel the same thing. Like, just make sure that you set up your business properly. You always want to have representation as far as a CPA. I know a lot of people use tax preparers, and I don't want to hate on tax preparers, but I feel like as a business owner, you need a CPA. You need to get a certified public accountant to handle your finances and your bookkeeping. Um, Always have an attorney that you can, consult with if you have a business that, you sign contracts and you deal with contracts with clients, or if you're a subcontractor to other companies, you want to have legal representation to look over contracts for you before you sign anything. Um, I don't know if there's anything I would say I wish I knew ahead of time, because like I said, by me working in my family business, I was just immersed in it. So I just learned, everything I needed to learn. So I really don't have anything I wish I would have done differently. Setting up my businesses. So yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate in that aspect that we haven't made many mistakes.
So somebody asked, do you have a recommendation on a business lawyer? Anybody that you recommend?
Um, yeah, there's a couple. Um, I mean, there's a few attorneys. Everybody's price point is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, there's a few people I can recommend. You know that person? So you
Yeah,
can
so
like
this
send
is
out
Fade to
go
Black.
ahead. So I
He did
can.
the was live with me a few weeks ago, Relly. So yeah, Relly, on the outside she has her her name is tagged in here. So just message her on the side and she can send
Yeah, I
you
can DM you.
those ones. Because like she says, all about people's budget. Like every lawyer
Mm-hmm.
different prices, so it depends on what you want. So just message her on the side.
Right.
But I'm glad you said stuff about contracts. So I knew it, like dealing with construction in real estate. So contracts is a big, probably a part of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So we always talk about contracts, but do you highly recommend that that's what like all people get that provide services, or do you feel like it's just like certain
Yeah,
areas?
I think certain areas. If you are, let's say, like a freelance, like hairstylist,
Mm-hmm.
barber, if you kind of just work with yourself one-on-one with a client, and it's kind of like a short-term
Mm-hmm.
contract, if somebody makes an appointment, that's the contract technically. You have your terms and conditions on your booking website. So you don't necessarily need an attorney for something like that, but you're dealing with, like, us with construction. You want to have contracts with, your homeowners or the commercial establishment, whoever, you're working for. You want to have something in writing, especially because the transaction is, it's pretty lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a 1 day thing. So it may take us 3 months to do a house. So we're not getting paid, like every week or
Mm-hmm.
as soon as, so you want to have something in writing that lays out the terms of like payment. You want to, if you want to, have a warranty on your work, you'll have that in your agreement. So just depending on the industry you're in, and I guess the volume of work you're doing, you will want to definitely consider having a contract.
Okay.
That you
Yeah, and like y'all, we always say that, like she was saying, like, if you're a service-based industry, like once somebody's booked with you, you have your terms and conditions, like she said. So no matter what industry, you need to have something that protects that transaction with that customer, with that client, because what if somebody books to do your hair and they never show up? Now you filled a spot that you could have somebody else. That's why a lot of us do like, non-refundable deposits or something towards your thing. So if you do cancel, if something's happened, we're not at least taking, a total loss for you just canceling or changing your mind and things of that nature.
Right.
And then, Monique, I always notice every time I see y'all, you'll have like, your hat on with your company. So what do you think about branding? Like, do you think branding is something that people, should always have? If you're an entrepreneur, have a business, like always have something that represents what your company are. Because every time I see y'all have something with your company on, which that makes me remember what the logo is. So what is your advice about branding and marketing to business owners?
I mean, I definitely think it's important. I can say that for EMP, for the construction company, we don't do any marketing. I mean, I need to do better, but we don't post on social media. Like, everything is pretty much word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we stay busy, but we really don't have like a presence online for people to, really learn about our brand. Oh, my doorbell. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take it with me. It's the AC guy. Wait, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead,
y'all.
girl.
Hey, good. You need to come in? Okay.
Hey, Nikki.
Go ahead.
Hey, Mom. Everybody that came on.
So sorry about that.
No, I mean, I know you saw my life when Demi was hanging on me and everything like that. Right. It's okay.
So, we don't do any marketing. We should. I need to be better about it, even with my real estate business. I don't post. I need to. So it's something I need to work on. So if you have any people in the views that helps with marketing and branding, that would be good. DM me. Because I need to work on it. And me and you have had discussions about it.
Yes.
Like we talked about it. So I do think it's important. I want to do better with it. I really want to kick 2024 off with a bang. So I feel like the rest of this year, I really want to get a plan into place. But I want to advertise both the real estate and the construction. I really want to.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And one of the things that you just said though, like with the word of mouth, so that goes back to like networking, like what we talked about last week. So like everybody in the chat, we always talk about, yes, you can have a great marketing campaign, but if you don't have that word of mouth with customers who used you before, or you don't have those networking skills, you're still going to end up sometimes finding yourself at a stagnant space. So like you just said, like they don't even do really social media things right now, but from the word of mouth, which is in sense communication, connections, relationships, they're getting a lot of business. So that's why we say like you have both. This basically takes your company even higher. Like they're doing really great now with just word of mouth. So when they add the other component, they even skyrocket. So you can't you need both to continue to grow as in a sense, because you don't want to get stagnant. So like we always keep saying, communications, contracts, like the same things are coming up every week for everybody who joins our group. So these are definitely points that entrepreneurs, businesses are doing, not only just to have, but to keep first of all, protect themselves, but also keep their businesses growing and going in the right direction. Like it all goes back to like processes and procedures and things of that nature. And Monique, like I know you have a big, you have a background also in HR. So like, what are some of that advice that you have for businesses, like with different things they should have, like from the HR side?
If you have a business with employees, because like I said, it's different if you kind of working independently, providing a service just yourself. Of course, you wouldn't have a need for it. But if you have a business with a crew or employees or subcontractors, I definitely would say just make sure you have policies written policies. You want to get them acknowledged by the employee, the subcontractor, whoever you're working with. And that's to protect you and to protect the employee or subcontractor, independent contractor. Paperwork is key because we know verbal agreements can hold up, but it's nothing like a written acknowledgement, a written document. So just basically documenting everything. Depending on the industry, you want to have some kind of safety protocol. At this point, you want to have like kind of some maybe like sensitivity, like just some kind of inclusive diversity. You know, things are changing, and you just want to be able to protect yourself from anything that can come up. I mean, as far as like sexual harassment or racism, ageism, like anything, you just it's just always best to have your policies written and acknowledged by whoever you're working with. And I mean, that's pretty much going back to what we said about contracts. Documentation is key.
Yeah, and I know some people like in the chat, y'all may have companies where y'all subcontract with workers or have people come and work with you. You know, you may be an electrician and you're doing a site to mine and you're hiring other people. So even with that, y'all need to definitely have those people are your employees at that time. So you got to make sure you also always have your policies in place for when somebody's working. And when she says like acknowledge that means they just don't say, oh, okay, I know the rules. No, like you have a paper normally at the end of your handbook or something that they sign that said, I received this and I also read it. Now, if they didn't read it and they sign it, that's on them. But you make sure you have a copy of that back so they know that they received the policy, procedure, whatever. They said they read it, and you make sure you get that back. So, like she said, yeah, you can verbally say something, but it's so hard to prove a verbal contract or things like that. But once you have that writing, and I always suggest people, you know, until you get that acknowledgement back, like those people shouldn't start working. They just shouldn't, because if something can happen on day one, you never got that back, and whether that leaves you, they can just say, oh, I never got that. She never gave me that or that. So like always, I know when we start a business, we're just so excited that we start. And we want to jump in, get that first sale or get that first whatever. But it's it's just so important to do all this stuff at the front end so you're not playing catch up and trying to do it at the back end, or it be a mistake that like you heavily pay for financially or put your business out of business. So, you know, I know we're always eager to want to do when you start your businesses, but you got to make sure you got your front end right before, so it won't cost you so much in the back end. Anybody has any questions in the chat? Monique, thank you so much for like all the information that you gave us, because we've never had anybody in the construction real estate industry yet, and it also will have like the HR background. I think people sometimes forget about the HR part in their business, which that's really one of the like most important things, especially as you continue to grow. You're going to have to hire people. You're not going to be able to do it all yourself. Well, you could try, but you're just going to burn yourself out. So as you bring on staff, you're not responsible just for writing, just for self. You're not responsible for somebody else. So you definitely got to have those things. And what would your recommendation be, Monique, if someone like doesn't have an HR person on staff or can't afford to have one full time? Like, what would you recommend like they can do, or where they can find resources like to have the policies and stuff that they could need so they can get to that level?
Yeah, you can always there are HR consulting firms where you'll have just a person you can call when you need them, exit interviews. They can do the recruiting, onboarding for you. They can help you with policies, procedures, implementation of those, handbooks. They can do handbook updates. They can help facilitate drug tests, whatever you need, safety. So you can always consult with a small HR consulting firm if you can't afford to have a designated HR person on staff.
So y'all hear that? Y'all got people working for y'all. Y'all need to get something with HR to protect yourselves. Anybody has any questions in the comments? Like I said, you can always ask us anything. It doesn't have to be just about what we talked about. When we always have a lot of business owners in here, or there's things that you are unsure about, questions, anything like that. It could be anything. So if you have a business owner or thinking about starting a business, definitely make sure you drop something in the chat and go up, make sure I didn't miss nobody. Oops.
You have to get EJ on to talk about the construction side of the business.
Okay.
I know a lot of people get burned out. Like he has a client now whose house was destroyed in Ida and had another contractor working on it. And it's almost 2 years later, and he had to come in and like redo the house. So that's important, especially us in the midst of hurricane season to just get a reputable contractor that you can trust. And that's why, he stays so busy from word of mouth without even advertising.
Yeah, because it's all about, you did this nice job, they liked it, they tell the next person.
Right.
And do you, like I know you said like y'all subcontract out, is that only happens like when it's like really high peaks for y'all that you would have to do something like that, or?
Well, since Ida, we've pretty much just done all repairs due to the hurricane, whether it's roofing. We've had a ton of houses that we just had to do a full gut. So yeah, everything for the past couple of years, most of it has been due to the hurricane. Okay. It's it's still going on. People are still fighting to get their money from the insurance companies. It's a lot. So you definitely just want to just go with someone you can trust. And referrals, even if of course you don't use EMP, but I would definitely get a referral for a contractor. Don't let these people come in from out of town, knock on your door, leave you a flyer. That can be a disaster in itself. Yeah. Besides the damage you have to your house.
So somebody asked in here, Gerald, he was on last week, how's it run the business with your significant other? He's asking that question because him and his wife are running their company together. So he wants to know how that is.
You know what? It's not bad because I have my lane and he has his lane. I'm not gonna lie, for the past 13 years, I'm able to go in houses, buildings, and I look around and sometimes I catch myself going to people's house, looking around because I can see the quality of the craftsmanship, when I walk into a room. So, I know a little something, but I can't price jobs. I that's just not me. So I have my lane, which is the back end administrative. He has his lane, which is basically operations. You know what I'm saying? So it's not bad. Sometimes we can bump heads, but it's never to the point to where it's like I can't work with him. Because sometimes I do need him to not necessarily sit down and do things with me, do invoices or something, but we have to communicate about these projects. I have to type the estimate. He'll look at the job. He'll come home. We'll type up the estimate. I email it. When it's time to invoice, I do the invoices. So we have to communicate throughout the process of fixing the property, but it's not bad because we stay in our own lane. Yeah, so it's not bad. It's been working for 13 years.
But y'all got it right down right.
Yep.
Gerald, so I hope that helped answer your question, Gerald. Someone else in here, it's my mom. She said, for an employee, what's the benefits of being a 1099 as opposed to a W-4 employee?
Well, technically, if we go by in the labor laws, your job duties determine if you should be a W-4 employee or a 1099 employee. The benefit of being a 1099 employee is you keep all your money, but you have to be disciplined enough to give Uncle Sam their cut, right? If you're a W-4 employee, they're taking the taxes out, so you don't even see the money. As an independent contractor or contractor, you get a full check. You have to, it's not always, easy to just give a third of a check you just got that you've been waiting on, because you're not necessarily getting paid every week when you're a 1099 person. So the benefit is you can take all your money home with a 1099, but are you going to owe at the end, or you're going to pay quarterly to the IRS? So it's just all about your discipline. But I will say this, and I've been a travel agent, I've been an event planner, I've had several businesses. I would recommend everybody have a business, even if you don't plan to work this business full time. Even if you want to keep your day job, I recommend everybody have an LLC. I'm not an accountant, I'm not an attorney, but I feel like which the majority of people work a job, you know, they're an employee. So the tax laws and codes, they're not written for the employee. They're written for business owners. So this is advice I was given years ago when I signed up to be a travel agent. And like I said, I'm not an attorney or an accountant, but I kept an LLC. Before I was married, when I was single, I had an LLC. You know why? Because I had a job. I always had a job. But as a business owner, I had expenses I could write off, right? Gas. I was a travel agent, so I needed to watch a travel channel. So part of that cable bill, I needed that, right? So I could watch.
So anything pertaining to your business, you were able to use that as your write-offs.
I recommend people have an LLC.
And then also, too, people always say, like, you know, we want to be, if you want to be wealthy, you want to be comfortable, whatever it is, all of those people you look at have multiple streams of income. Nobody's just doing this working just a 9 to 5. Like, you might be 9 to 5, even if you do something that's just consulting on the side, or you do this or do that. Like, they always say, even like you look at these people who are celebrities, not of them just don't sing or just don't entertain. They act, they do this, they have makeup, they have clothes, they have shoes. So, you know, it's the same thing. Like, you know, always have something else to generate those different streams of income.
And it's not always to, of course, you want to make money. You go into business to make money. That's the first thing you learn in a business class in business school. Why did you go into business? To make money. There's no other reason you went in. You went in to make money, right? So even like some people will work 2 or 3 jobs. You don't always have to have 2 or 3 jobs. You have to find a way to be able to leverage what you do have. So you could be a bank teller, right? But you can have a side business, doing whatever, selling something or ABC, like whatever your side business is, just to have the benefit of using a different code when it comes time to do your taxes at the end of the year. So if you worked a 9 to 5 or worked a job, you were an employee, but you had an LLC, you can sometimes fluctuate with your W-4, right? Let's say you're single, so you may do single and 1 or single and 0. They'll take all your money out your paycheck for taxes. But if you had an LLC, maybe you can raise that up a little bit to single and 3, single and 4, because you know you're going to have some write-offs, right? You're going to write off your cell phone, you're going to write off some gas, you're going to write off some of your cable, whatever is pertaining to what your business is that you can write off, you do it. Some meals. You know what I'm saying? Some entertainment if you want to bring a client to a concert. Part of, like, if you have an apartment or a house. Right now I'm sitting at my dining room table. Technically, this is an office space for me if I wanted it to. So some of the square footage of this dining room can be written off. Like some of the square footage of my house. So there's so many ways but people don't know that, right? So somebody told me and I ran with it. That was years ago.
Yeah, it's a benefit.
Now you don't always, you can't write everything off, because when it comes time you want to buy something, a house, a car, you need to be able to be approved. So you have to show income, but you want to be able to show some income. So you don't want to go crazy and do single and 12 or single and 11 on your W-4, but you have some wiggle room when you own your own business to be able to take some more of your paycheck home, pay less taxes every week or every other week, because you know you're going to have some write-offs from your side business. So I recommend everybody in the world have an LLC and just take advantage of what you can legally within the law.
Yes.
That's why I said it's important to have a CPA. And I don't know. That's my advice.
And then also too, like what you said, like starting an LLC, like, you know, everybody has some type of passion for something, y'all. So like you don't have to just go start selling lip gloss because you see everybody doing. Like, find out whatever your passion is, and you can turn that into something that you want to do on the side and form your business. And even with what you said, like the CPA lawyer, you need all that to make sure your business is set up right from the beginning, because if it's not set up right, you're not going to be able to do the tax write-offs because you don't have it set up right. So like that's why it's important to get those people in place to make sure you are doing things the right way, the legal way, and following the tax laws change every year, so that's why it's really important to have a professional in those industries giving you that advice, because they are certified, they are trained, they're doing a continuing education in that area, so they know year to year like what's what and what's that. So don't go in trying to do it all by yourself. Like get those right people in place so you can take advantage of the benefits that comes with being a business owner. And Monique, somebody asked, Carlita asks, can you provide any advice for buying a home in the current market?
Well, right now, interest rates, we know that they're not as low as they were a year ago. I would just always say date the rate and marry the house. They'll eventually go down. I don't know when, but I would not buy a house, due to the rates. So, because they will go down. You don't want to leverage yourself too much where you can't afford to pay for your house. But date the rate and, marry the house.
And somebody said, hey, sister, in here. Gerald said, great explanation. W. Bergeron said, hey, great explanation. So, y'all, once again, Monique, thank you again tonight for joining us. Thank you for giving us some insight, especially on the back end side of businesses. We have a lot of experiences with that. Everybody in the chat, we do this every Thursday. Drop in here if you have a business, what's your hashtag, what's your company, what it does. Take a few time to do that. If anybody have any other questions, y'all can keep dropping them in the comments. Monique, do you have anything for us?
Like I said, I would recommend everybody just think of something that you can do to create your LLC. Consult with a CPA before you do it, because you want to make sure you're taxed properly. I've made an error with that in the past that we had to correct. So you sometimes have to try different people until you find the right person to handle your taxes and things for you. So you want to make sure your company is classified properly so you can have the benefit of, like you said, what we talked about. So that if you have a service-based business, so where it's like I said, it's not like a short transaction period, I would definitely have an attorney make a contract, for you to give to your clients to sign. Business insurance. I know we didn't talk about that, but workers' comp, general liability, depending on the industry, and it's super important to cover yourself. And that's it. I saw this earlier, a couple of days ago on Instagram, and somebody posted their brother. He have his own like landscaping company, or he cuts grass, right? So his business page posted on Facebook, meet employee of the month, Jonathan, whatever. But it was himself. Yeah. The guy posted himself, but his company posted him employee of the month. He's been doing such a good job. He gets a 3-day hunting trip. So the company is going to pay for his hunting trip because he's employee of the month, even though he's the employee. Right? Yeah. That's just another thing. I just thought about that, but that goes back to me saying there's so much you can do, when you own a business. Yeah. That's legal and within the law.
Within the law.
Yeah. So just everybody consider getting an LLC and figure something out to bring home all your money that you made from your job. Don't let Uncle Sam keep it. You keep your money and figure out the legal way to do that.
So my mom said she's going to start her LLC. Thank you, Monique. She said, Carlita said she would like a part 2 on this, and we could do more talking about small businesses and building business credit. Pintrell said good information. Margaret, awesome. So once again, Monique, thank you for taking your time out. I know you're busy. Thank you for taking your time out and doing the live with us. You gave us some great information. Everybody else, thank y'all for joining us again tonight. So we'll see y'all again next Thursday. And everybody have a good night. And please, as we do these lives, take the information that we say, You know, go out, be empowered. Don't be scared. Like the first step is just getting out there and doing it. And then from there, like we say, have your policies, your contracts, your team, your legal team, your insurance, everything you need to really get your business going in the right direction. So everybody have a good night, and thank y'all so much.
You too. All right.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.